Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we turn confusing corporate reports into something you can actually understand. Today we are checking up on Oriental Rise Holdings Limited, the herbal tea company, and this time they've brewed up an interesting financial filing. Don't worry, we will figure out just what that means and make sure this isn't just snake leaf tea, if you get my drift. They're looking to sell a whole bunch of new shares and warrants for up to $10 million now, but does this mean business is going to grow? Or are they facing some hot water? If you appreciate a straight to the point analysis, hit that like button and consider subscribing. We also have a Discord community linked in the description. First, this isn't their first trip to the market. This is amendment number 1 to their registration statement. They're planning something big. Let's dig in. Oriental Rise is actually a Cayman Islands holding company. It means that while they are listed on the Nasdaq in the US, their actual business operations happen in China through their Chinese entities. This adds a layer of complexity investors should be aware of. A major theme throughout this report that deserves the spotlight are the risks with operating in China. These are not your average be careful, but potential red flags. The Chinese government can change anything with little notice. You could lose everything kind of warnings. Simply put, the Chinese government could step in and dramatically alter, if not completely stop a company with operations in mainland China, like them from conducting their business. Change in the political or social conditions or government policies in China could be a major problem for their business. The report even mentions the China Securities Regulatory Commission, the CSRC, requiring companies filing for IPOs overseas to submit filings. In fact, they have to complete these procedures with the CSRC before finishing their overseas offerings. This is a regulatory hurdle and things can get complicated if the company fails to comply, which could significantly limit or completely hinder their ability to offer securities to investors, or cause such securities to significantly decline or just be worthless. There's even mention of cybersecurity reviews that can affect foreign listings. The regulatory terrain in China is constantly shifting, and that uncertainty raises serious questions for investors. Additionally, the report mentions the Holding Foreign Companies Accountable Act, which threatens the delisting of their stocks because it makes it harder for US regulators to inspect the company's public accounting firm. Notably, for this offering, they are required to submit a filing with the CSRC within 3 business days after completing this process. If it's determined that they're subject to any other approvals or requirements, there's no guarantee they'll get them in time or at all. To highlight how severe this can be, they're including legal jargon that literally means the company will just delay this offering until if they manage to fix these legal hurdles. Switching gears to the offering itself, they plan to offer 16,029,032 units, with each unit containing 1 ordinary share or an alternative called a pre-funded warrant, along with another warrant known as a common warrant. It's priced at 7 yuan per U3 nest, with each unit containing 1 ordinary share, or an alternative called a pre-funded warrant, along with another warrant known as a common warrant. It's priced at 0.62 cents per unit, but this could change. Here is where things get really spicy. This common warrant allows the investor at any time after the closing of this offering to exercise a zero cash option, immediately receiving 2 shares where normally a cash option would give 1. This is insane if you think about it. It's like a BALGO coupon that gives the investor a free option at any time, meaning that the moment that it can give the BALGO, it almost certainly will. The actual final price is also yet to be determined. The value of the shares could also decrease significantly. Perhaps worst of all for existing shareholders, the documents explicitly mentioned if a 0 exercise price option ends up being fully executed, the tune of 64.5 million shares. Share values will certainly go way down. How much? Hard to predict, but clearly it'll dilute those original holdings. Yups 20. Maxim Group LLC is acting as the exclusive placement agent, and they will use their reasonable best efforts to sell these securities. But this is a best efforts offering, so basically they don't have to sell anything to get paid. So if this flops, you will most likely feel it. Maxim, the placement agent, will get a cash fee equal to 7.0% of the total purchase price paid by investors in this offering. It's a good deal for them no matter what. As usual, if everything goes smoothly, Oriental Rise estimates to get around $9 million from this offering. There's no guarantee, however, and there's no minimum amount they have to raise either. Any proceeds will be used for general corporate purposes like IT expenses, research and development, and working capital, though they might also acquire or invest in related businesses or technologies. They previously also did a subdivision of shares where each share of AAO001 USD value was further split into 1.25 shares of 0.0008 USD each, effectively creating more shares out of the same amount of equity. It's like slicing a pizza into more pieces without adding any pizza. Now let's check the money to see where the company stands. Revenue shows a worrying trend, a substantial decrease for the year, going from 24.1 million dollar 23 to just $15 million in 2024, a massive drop of 37.76%. That's like losing more than a third of your sales in a single year. Making matters worse, the cost of sales barely budged, slightly decreasing by approximately 2%. Those two forces combined to a disastrous gross profit decrease of 69.26%. That's awful, and a major loss of income generation ability. Selling and distribution costs, those grew by over 500% year over year. Basically, they are spending 5x more in marketing to get almost 40% less money. That means they had to run 5 times as hard just to fall behind. Net profit followed the same route, decreasing by 81.85%. Looking at the balance sheets, we see cash and equivalents increased by $6 million year over year, a good sign showing they are able to acquire some cash, maybe to get ready for worse times. Regarding the audit firm review, the original filing mentions that securities could be prohibited from trading if not fully inspected by the PCAOB for 3 years. They've changed it in more recent fillings with an amendment of 2 years. Lastly, you might be wondering where all the money goes. Oriental Rise indirectly holds equity interest in Fujian Mindongheng Tea Technology Co. and its domestic subsidiary Fujian Qingjing Agricultural Comprehensive Development Company. Payments of revenue, etc. get transferred from Fujian in mainland China through East Asia Enterprise in Hong Kong. Then finally to Oriental Rise in the Cayman Islands. It's a bit roundabout, isn't it? You are betting on 3 different regions before getting to the original asset. Tough. So what's the tea on this tea company? They have a lot of risk to contend with operating in mainland China, even in the document itself. Oriental Rise warns that PRC authorities could change things overnight, and they have little to no control about it. New rules could make it really hard, if not outright impossible, for foreign investors to get involved. Then there are serious liquidity concerns related to China's strict currency controls. Getting your money out can be difficult, and it might be hard and slow to convert your yuan to USD. You are basically not just betting on the product and market, but the whims of legal interpretation and policies of the Chinese government. It feels like you are betting on 3 horses at the same time. Good luck with that. Now, I think they want to become the local leader for herbal tea, but their current financial situation is not looking great. Revenue dropped and costs increased. The document itself says to not rely on the past performance, and I can't see a reason to rely on future performance if those trends continue. Alright, that's our deep dive. What secrets did you uncover in this report? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this analysis useful, liking really helps, and consider subscribing. Check out our Discord channel in the description below. Lots of people talking about this there. See you next time.